Avoidants deeply regret losing people who do these 5 things. When it comes to avoidant attachment, most people assume avoidants don't feel regret. They seem cold, distant, and detached. They walk away like nothing happened. They disconnect like it's nothing. But the truth is far more complicated and honestly, far more interesting. Avoidants don't regret losing everyone. They regret losing specific kinds of people, people who touch their emotional world in a way that no one else ever does. And the irony is, avoidants often realize what they lost only after the person has already moved on. In this video, we're going to talk about the 5 types of behaviors avoidants deeply regret losing, even if they never admit it, never text back, and never say it out loud. If you've ever dealt with an avoidant, you might recognize yourself in some of these. And if you do, trust me, they felt the loss way more than you think. The first thing avoidants deeply regret losing is someone who stays calm while loving them. Avoidants are terrified of emotional intensity. They grew up associating closeness with stress, pressure, or expectations they couldn't meet. So when someone comes into their life who loves them without overwhelming them, it becomes a type of peace they didn't even know they needed. You weren't demanding, you weren't chasing them down, you weren't exploding emotionally. You were steady, you were grounded. You made emotional connection feel safe, not suffocating. Avoidants don't know how to receive that kind of love in the moment. They often push it away. But when you're gone, that calmness becomes the thing their nervous system misses the most, because everyone else either pressures them or withdraws from them. But you created stability, and avoidants always regret losing the people who made their world feel peaceful instead of chaotic. The second type of person avoidants regret losing is the one who respected their need for space. Avoidants live in a constant battle between wanting closeness and fearing it. When someone respects their boundaries without resentment, guilt-tripping, or games, it hits them on a deeper level than they ever show. You weren't hovering. You weren't needy. You weren't chasing them into a corner. You let them breathe. You understood that their need for space wasn't rejection, it was regulation. And because you didn't crowd them, they actually felt more emotionally safe with you than with anyone else. But here's the twist. Avoidants often misinterpret that respect as you not caring enough. So they pull back even though the relationship is exactly what they need. Later, when they lose you, they look back and realize, that person gave me space without leaving. It's rare. It's valuable. And avoidants don't come across that often, so losing it creates a very specific type of regret they carry quietly. The third type of person avoidants regret losing is the one who sees their emotional walls but doesn't judge them for it. Avoidants have a lifetime of feeling misunderstood. People often label them cold, selfish, uncaring, or emotionally immature. But you didn't do that. You saw the fear behind the distance. You saw the childhood patterns behind their avoidant behavior. You saw the little moments of vulnerability they accidentally let slip. You didn't take their withdrawal personally, you saw through it. And that made you different from everyone else. When avoidants lose someone who understands their emotional wiring, it's like losing the only person who ever truly got them. That kind of understanding is incredibly rare, and they only feel the weight of it once they compare you to someone new. Someone who takes their distance personally, lashes out, or demands more than they can give. Suddenly, your empathy becomes irreplaceable. Avoidants deeply regret losing people who saw the truth underneath their patterns. Because being understood, even silently, is something avoidants rarely get and always miss. The fourth type of person avoidants regret losing is the one who grows instead of chasing. Avoidants expect people to chase them. They expect people to plead or try harder when they pull away. So when you didn't, when you took their distance as a sign to focus on yourself, to improve your life, to protect your peace, that shook them. Instead of begging for connection, you upgraded your emotional world. You didn't fight for someone who wasn't fighting for you. You became more grounded, more confident, more self-respecting. That kind of growth hits avoidance more than any argument ever could. Because avoidants run from closeness, but they never forget the people who turn their pain into power. They never forget the person who became stronger because of them. And they regret losing someone who didn't just walk away, you evolved. That evolution creates a contrast they feel intensely. They look back and think, I pushed away someone who only got better without me. And that realization lingers for years. And finally, the fifth type of person avoidants profoundly regret losing is the one who loved them without losing themselves. Avoidants are used to two kinds of people, those who cling and those who quit. But you were neither. You loved them wholeheartedly, but you didn't abandon your dreams, your values, your identity, or your boundaries. You didn't let the relationship consume you. You didn't shrink to fit them. You didn't sacrifice your self-worth for crumbs of affection. You knew who you were, and you stayed true to it. Avoidants admire this deeply, even if they can't mirror it. Because deep down, avoidants fear engulfment. They fear being responsible for someone else's entire emotional world. When they lose someone who can love without losing themselves, it creates a void nothing else can replace. That balance of love and independence is extremely rare, and avoidants always look back at it as the one that got away, even if they never say the words. So what does all of this mean? It means avoidants don't regret losing everyone. They regret losing the people who made them feel safe, seen, respected, and free. The ones who didn't pressure them, the ones who understood them, the ones who stayed grounded in their own self-worth. Avoidants don't express remorse loudly, but their regret is real, deep, and often lifelong. And here's the hidden truth. Avoidants don't regret losing you when you were trying to convince them to choose you. They regret losing you when you finally choose yourself. That is the turning point. That is the moment they realize what you truly meant to them. And that is the moment the silence becomes louder than any words. As we wrap up this video, remember this. Avoidants don't express their emotions the way most people do, but that doesn't mean they don't feel the consequences of their choices. They often realize the value of someone only after that person has already stepped into their strength. And if that someone is you, don't ever doubt the impact you made. What truly matters now is not whether they regret losing you, but whether you learn the lessons that help you protect your heart moving forward. You deserve relationships where you don't have to decode mixed signals, chase clarity, or shrink yourself to be loved. You deserve emotional reciprocity, respect, and presence, not distance disguised as independence. So if this video helped you see things differently, make sure you like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this perspective. Your support helps this channel keep creating the deep, honest conversations most people are afraid to have. And trust me, there is so much more coming. Thank you for watching. Stay grounded, stay aware, and always choose peace over chaos. Until next time, take care of your mind, your heart, and your energy.